Okay, this is the simple title screen tutorial part 2. I'm going to show you how to show the number of credits on screen, even though to start with there won't be any because we won't put any input code in. But this is the basics of showing what I call dynamic text. This is text that can possibly change. Okay. So the first thing we do, we want to show how many credits. So we need somewhere to store the number of credits. Now in our system, if we look at Solution Explorer, I've got my system loaded up. We haven't actually got anywhere obvious for this to go because it might not just be on the title screen that we want to display something. So we won't necessarily put this storage in title mode. But we have got something called general logic. So if we double click that from Solution Explorer, and at the start there's already a variable in there called game state. Now this is the thing that keeps track of what part of the game is running, whether it's title screen, we're playing the game, options mode, etc. So we're going to add another variable. Now this line is the container for our code in this file. Our variables and subroutines must come after this brace. Okay, so make sure you've got a line like that, and then we're going to just use an integer and we're going to call it credits, and we're going to set it by default to 0. Okay, so int credits equals 0. Above that line I'm going to do /// and put a comment in here, and I'm going to say holds number of credits currently available. You can put whatever you want in there, but that's what I'm going to do. That's a comment, so I know what that is later. Okay, so that's the first part done. The next thing we want to do is display the credits on screen. Now, because it's dynamic text, this needs to happen every time through the game loop. So if we scroll down just a little bit, here's the game loop. Okay, and at the minute we want this to be displayed in the title screen. So if we scroll down slightly in game loop, so any of your logic goes here. We haven't got any code for the case where it says state.title. Okay, so we're going to put some just before that break line. So there's break, there's the case, we're going to put it after that. So we want to display the credits. So we're going to create a subroutine called display credits, just like we did in part 1. It doesn't exist, it will go a red squiggle on us. So we've got that. We right click over the name and say generate method stub, and it will create display credits for us, which is quite nice of it. Okay, we'll delete that bit. Okay, 2 steps to do in text. We have to create what I call a text store first, which stores information about the text we want to display, and then we need to draw it. Okay, so the first step is to say text store, and I'm just going to call it T equals a new text store. Now, a few options here. We need to pick a font. So you can create your own fonts, and just ask me if you want to know how to do that. But I'm going to use one that's in the font bank, and I am going to use I'm going to go for I always do this when I'm doing this sort of stuff. Imagic. I'm going to use the Imagic font. Okay, now like in part 1 there's a few options here, so I'm going to start on the next line and I'm going to put the text I want to display. So in double quotes I'm going to say credits in capital letters, then I'm going to leave a space, then I'm going to put a double quote, and then after that I'm going to say I want to show how many credits we've got from our variable called credits. Okay, now it wants to know where I'm going to display this. Now I want this bottom right of the screen. Okay, now my screen's 800 by 600, so if I say 750 and the Y position 550, so it's towards the bottom right hand corner, and then I need to put text properties. Now I could define a really complicated one, or I can use a basic one. I want to make sure that my text sits with its bottom right at 750, 550. So I'm going to set up a basic bottom right alignment. Okay, so that will put the bottom right corner of this text at this position, 750 by 550. You'll see that running in a sec. Right, so that creates the text I want to display. Now I'm going to display it. So I'm going to use the text manager and I'm going to say draw T. Okay, that should be it. Let's try it. Let's run and see what it should say. No, because we have no credits. But we can test it in a minute just to make sure that works. So there you go. It says credit no at about 750, 550. Right, let's press escape. Let's just scroll up and change the credits to, I don't know, 7. So we'll have to remember to reset that back to 0. But let's just try it and make sure it works. So press F5 to run it again. And Bob's your uncle. There you go, credit 7. Right, let's quit that and just set that back to 0. That's how you display credits. The next video I'll show you how to put some key code in so that we can add credits. Okay, which will be fun, won't it?